All right, guys. So thanks for joining. Let's get started. So today's session, we had played with a couple of exercises with in the backend application. So we would also want to understand how to work with the multiple tables. Okay, let's say you want to get data from multiple tables. So far you might be getting only from single table, right? So to understand that, we need to understand SQL joins. So joins is one of the powerful concept in SQL where we can get the data from multiple sources, right? Which means that multiple tables. Okay. So primarily we have like we had how many times? How many types, right? So most likely as far as I know, we have six types of joins. So number one is it's the easiest concept, guys. Okay, enjoy this concept. And there is a damn sure question actually. Whenever it attended for interview, right? So there is a damn sure question from the joints. They'll completely they'll ask, hey, can you explain about how join works? Got it? Yeah. So first thing is inner join. Inner join. Okay. So before showing this, let me also draw a table. So let's say there are two tables. One is employee table where yeah. In SQL, there is a concept called joins. So which would help us to join. It would help us to get the data from multiple source tables, right? Let's say there are 10 tables. You want to get data from all 10 tables based on some relation, for example. You got it? So in order to understand those things, so let's understand the simple joins with at least basic two tables, for example, and then we can keep extending on that. All right. Let's say imagine we have a table table is employee table, and here it has two things. One is employee ID, I would say like EID, employee ID, okay, and ename. Ename is employee name. You got it? These are the this it has two table, and also when employee working in company, or you can think of instead of employee, then think of student. Let's say this way you can easily understand. Student, student ID, and uh, student name, and with department, student department. Got it? So there are three columns in this table, for example, in this student table, and say namely we have three persons. Let's say student ID is this one, whose name is let's say Ravi, for example, right? And his department is, let's say, triple E. Got it? Like that, we have student two, whose department is, let's say, whose name is uh, let's say Akash, for example, and department is CSC, and student three, right? Let's say we'll call it Mahesh, right? And say EC. Makes sense? So imagine this one table, right? Sorry. Yeah. So this one table, and let me create one more table. So let me just copy paste. Then table name is department table, right? And here it has department name, or instead of saying student ID, it's like a department name. Let me simply change it, and does not have this. and here department ID. I think names we cannot, we should match with ID. This ambiguous right name. Good. And here department, see in the department table we have IDs. Let's say 10 for EC department, for example, department ID 20 for CSC, and 30 for EC, for example. You got it? So now that you have seen, one second, I would say d.id. So I think instead of D means department. Okay, S means student table. Okay, right. And here department name, D dot name. You got it? Cool. So now if you see how many tables are there, so we have seen two tables, right? That's fine. I think no problem. Yeah. So here two tables are there. Now what we need to do is we need to get the table detail. Let's say student details. For example, here this is fine. And the student table, so student ID, student name, and student department. So what we do is the first table is this. Second table is this. And let's say if Ravi from CS department, for example, and we will pass the department ID, department ID, stu- uh, department ID, something like this. Yeah. So that what we can have is, see, student department ID here, Ravi from CSA background. So ID is 20, and Akash Josan EC, right? Which means 30. And let's say Mahesh chosen what is the department? He can choose any department actually here. So let's say he has chosen triple E. Give for example 10. And there are new joiners, there are new more. Let's add a few more here. Let's add few more. Namely, for example, I added. Let's say one student got identified, for example, in student table, and his name is let's say Kiran, right? But Kiran is not chosen any department. Okay, by default it's set to null. You got it? Not chosen. Understood? And also we have one more student. Let's say Komal. So Komal also joined, but not chosen any department. Null means like not chosen. Okay, he's not belonging to any department so far. Okay, and here there are more departments. Let's say 40 department ID is 40, and here department ID is IT, information technology. Okay, these all departments information from the engineering background guys. And ID 50, and here this person like a 50 department ID 50, and which is like civil. Got it? Yeah, cool. So now that we have seen two tables, okay, one is student table and other one is department table. In student table, we had a three columns: student ID, student name, and student department. Okay, student department ID, right? And if you see here, and one more table, department and department ID and department name, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to join these two tables based on certain criteria. So to join this, we had we have concepts, we have six joins are available. So very first one is inner join. Okay, so inner join. So inner join means return all matched, return all matched records from the both the tables. Okay, So when I say inner join, return all matched records from the both the tables. If you see what are the records got matched, for example, if you consider a student table and you consider a department table. So if you see here, the key to match is department ID. Okay. So how many students are like chosen the departments? 20, 30, and 10, which means that three departments. You got it? So 20, 30, and 10. These three these three departments got matched. Got it? So now when I do an inner join, so what is the query? So like it will get you the it returns the matched records from the both the tables. Okay, and your resulted would be, for example, what you want based on your selection. So what you want to see? You want to see, for example, let's say department. See, Ravi belongs to. We mentioned that CSC department, right? Now I want to see what is the student ID, what is the student name, and what is the department name. Now I need to select the columns from two columns from the first table and one column from the second table, for example. Okay, so this way, how we can do it, right? See, we already practiced about SQL queries, right? So like select query, we have already tried it, correct? So how we can do it? You can use select. Now, see, just make it empty, okay, and select from which table? Let's say student table. Got it? Select from student table, and so what you want to do? You want to perform inner join on when on what table you want to do a inner join? I want to do a inner join on department table. Okay, I want to do a inner join on department table. Okay, yeah, and on so on what is the common thing? What is the common thing between student and department table? So student department ID and department ID. You got it? On department, uh, directly you can say student dot s dot. There you are seeing, right? You are seeing it here, s dot department ID equal to. So what you want to match with? You want to match with department ID, which is d dot id. You got it? Now, so select. Now we are not selecting any field, right? What you want to select? You want to select, as I mentioned, student ID, student name, and department name, for example, right? Same thing. So what is this SID? Correct? Here, select SID, student ID. You can select SID, comma student name, comma department name. You got it? And guys, actually see, instead of writing student dot ID, it's a very big full form, right? There's a full one, student dot ID, student dot name. Instead of that, we can use as actually. So uh, from student, as you are renaming student to S, which means that whenever we are referring S, which means that student. You got it? And inner join department as D, for example. So what we are doing, we are referring, we are renaming department to D, which means that when I write D means department name. Did you see this? Like now select student ID, student name, and department name. Make sense? From table, right? From student table as S, which means that I think, yeah. Now you are good, right? Now what is the return? What is the result of this? So the result of this will be uh, student student ID, SID, student name, okay, and department name. Make sense? Now, so now only matched what? Three matches, right? 20, 30, 10. Only three matched with the departments. You got it? Now the result will be only three records. So one Ravi, So let me copy like this directly, or I can copy since there is these three people, right? Let me copy these three. Got it? And department name. So 20 means what? CSC. 30 ECE. 10 triple E. Make sense? Now what I'm going to do is, see, this is how the inner join works. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do some practical on this. Yeah. The same example, whatever example we tried here, we try to do the same thing here. Make sense? Now let me open PG admin. Guys, once you understood one join, right, one syntax that is applicable to everything else. And knowing the syntax is very important. And the same style will be applied to, let's say currently we have only two tables. You can extend to multiple tables. Let's say 10 tables, 20 tables, whatever you need. Yeah. Any questions from this? From anyone? Any questions from here? Otherwise, any questions on this? All right. Okay. Yeah, you're audible. Come on. Yeah. Mm, right. Sure. Yes, Kumar. Yeah. hmm No, no. S dot ID, S dot name, and D dot name. So like these two from first table, S dot ID and S dot name, and D dot name, right? We are referring to you are getting that information from second table, department table. You got it? So this from department. Like even you can make one more. Let's say even you can mention a department ID also, so that it will be more clear for you. You got it? So D dot ID. Now what we are taking? We are taking two columns from first table, two columns from second table. You got it? Uh, no, 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 not both columns, man. See, here S means student.id. S means student.id. Student not name. D means department dot name. D means department dot id. You got it? So here in the we have written a shortcut actually. So instead of say student, shortcut is S. Instead of department, shortcut is D. You got it? It's just a shortcut actually, nothing else. Yeah, no problem. Now let's experiment the same thing, how it works. Okay. So I'm using a PG admin for testing this. And currently I had two schemas. How many tables are there? So I have only one table, user information table, and I have other schema. So schema to categorize, let's say for example, you want to create a same table, right? You cannot create a same table in one single table, for example. So one single schema under. So instead, what we do is we'll create one more schema. Under that, we can create one more tables. Okay, it is for categorizing. So let's go ahead and create some table inside this. So in order to create a table inside any of it, right? So right click, right click on this, go to query, select query. If you click on select query, now what we need to do? Currently, I don't have these two tables, right? So let me create student table. So what is syntax? Create table. What is the table name? Create table if not exist, right? If not exist, create table. So let me give a table name. What is the table name we given? Student, right? correct. And create a, yeah. Now what I want to do, I want to create a student ID, right? ID, ID, comma, ID. So what is ID? ID is integer, right? ID is integer, and student name. Student name is varchar. You can use varchar or character varying. Make sense? And also one more thing is department ID, DPT ID. Just say department ID. Okay. So this ID is what? Department ID is integer again. Correct? Make sense? Yeah. So this first table, like I want to let me create one more table. Second, what is it? Second table. Create table if not exist. So what table? Department. The table name is department. Make sense? Right. And the department table has how many columns? Two columns. One is department ID, correct? Department ID, integer, and department name. Makes sense, huh? Instead of say ID, department ID, DPT ID, okay, and department name, DPT underscore name. Make sense? This only two columns, right? Yeah, makes sense. And even instead of simply write ID, right? Just say student, student underscore ID, student underscore name. This makes sense more. Yeah. So that you cannot confuse it with ID and all. Okay. So now this is so neat, right? I created two tables and I want to insert, right? How can I insert? Let's say insert into what's the table name? So currently, you can also put specifically on which schema you want to create a table. So currently there are two schema, right? I can say so by default public. It will go to by default public only. If you don't write it, also no problem, right? So say, and if you want to specifically create in the other table, you can create. That's okay. Yeah, makes sense. Now let's create this. So first highlight one, create it. See the table is successfully created under this one public. Now go ahead and refresh and see. Refresh the table. Now you're seeing a student table also, right? Did you see it? Just now it got created. And let create one more table, department table. Go and create it. Go and refresh it. You will see department table also. Oh, there is a syntax. What is syntax? Uh, Create table, department ID, integer, department name. We didn't provide the data type varchar. Make sense, right? And if we go here and make sense, now we have two tables. We created two tables. One is department table and the student table. Now I want to insert data into these tables. Make sense? So what is the query? Insert into what is the table name? Table name is student table. And what values I want to insert? I want to insert for this three. Let's say student ID, comma student name, right, comma department ID. Make sense? And now what we need to do, we have we are trying to insert into these three these three columns and values. Okay, now values you have to pass. For example, as mentioned, like what are the values we have mentioned? We can take the same reference of this particular table, right? Okay, so 1 to 3 and 20 30, no problem. We will create similar kind. Okay, so yeah, makes sense. It's not moving. That's okay. So I think I can take this out slightly. Yeah, I think we can pump this out like this. Yeah, this makes sense, right? Cool. Now, cool. So what values I want to insert into the student table? So student ID is 1. What is the student name? Ravi, right? And what is the department? Let's say 20. Okay, and like this. And you can put one more tuple kind of thing. Student like student ID is 2 and the name is Akash, right? And the department ID is 30. And what is the next one? 3, comma, what is the name? Mahesh. And what is his ID? It's 10. Make sense? Next, ID number 4, student ID is 4, and fourth person is Kiran, right? And what is ID? Fourth ID is null. There is no ID. Got it? If no ID, we should put null. Capital null, small null, both are fine, guys. Okay. And student number 5, what is the student number 5? Komal. Make sense? And then what is his department? Null. You can put like uppercase null, lowercase null, both should be fine. Got it? Now what I'm going to do is I need to prepare this data. I need to insert this data. Just select this and go and trigger it. Did you see? Insert 0 and 5. So 5 rows got inserted. So how do you check it? Simple. Go to the navigate to the table, check it. You should able to see all the table information. Right? Did you see whatever we have just created? So this information is available exactly replicated here. Got it? Now we have to do it for another table. Make sense? Right. Yeah, I think you can since it is already created, no problem. Click on the query tool. Now I know now we know these things, right? Department. So how we can write a department table? Insert into what's the table name? Department. And you can directly put department, so it will refer to the public schema by default. But if you want to specify other schema, you can specify, but make sure the table should exist in the schema. Yeah, insert into. Uh, so for example, let's say now department depart insert into department. Okay, and what I need to insert? I want to insert department ID, right? Uh, Go on. I want to see the column names. Okay, so DPT department underscore ID, comma department underscore name. Got it? And now I want to insert values for it. So values. So what is the first value? Department ID is 10 and department name is triple E. Make sense? Next, what is the next department? Department ID is 20 and department is CSC. Okay, and what is the next one? Department ID is 30 and next is ECE. Next is department ID is 40 and it is from like the 40 is IT department. Like that, we have department ID 50 and what is the value? Value is civil department. Make sense? Yeah. Now, so if I just select, if I select and insert, see 5 rows got inserted. You got it? So Now you understood, right? Like how I inserted. So I inserted, I created two tables, inserted data into these two tables. Got it? Yeah. So how I can check it? Just click on the respective table, go here, view all data. You can do this or select star from departments. Actually, it takes select star from departments. You just take it out. You will see all the informations, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, right? 50. Also, we need to insert one empty department. I think I missed it, but that's fine. We can insert that. Okay. So if you want to insert, so how we can do it? Oh, I cannot do it directly do that. It's kind of locked. So you should just query tool, insert into what's the table name? Department. Department, right? And what values I want to like I want to insert department department ID, comma. I want to add one empty row also. That's why empty null department name, department underscore name. Okay, and values. So here we say values for this is department ID is like until 50 we inserted. Let's say department ID is 60 or 70. That's okay. Any numbers fine. Null department, meaning name was not given, for example, right? Just choose this and click play. So inserted one. Now if I go back here and if I check back what the data it has, right? It should have 6 records now. Yeah, total 6 records are there, and one is null department. Okay. So because I wantedly created one null department name in this, also created one null department in the student. If you see, not only one, I think maybe one or two. Let's check that out quickly. If I click on the student, yeah. So I have created 5 records. Out of that, 3 is good records and 2 are empty records. Got it? Right. So now when it comes to inner join, right? So when it comes to inner join, so inner join returns all the matched records from the both the tables. So when I say matched records, so now what I need to do is inner join. So this is a query. Okay. So if I execute this query, it will match from the first table, second table. It is matching with the department IDs with the second table department IDs. You got it? If there is a match, then only it will return. And it is clear that only 3 records getting matching and remaining will be ignored. You got it? And the result will be 3 records. Let's say student number 1, Ravi, and 20 is what? Now we are printing department name is he. Let's do that. Actually, you will come to know. Okay. Now, so click on that query tool, guys. This just think about this query. This query tool is very important. Like understanding this is very important actually. Okay. See, that's where I'm categorizing. See, select. So what I want to select, I'm just currently leaving blank. Okay, I'm not selecting table A columns or table B columns. Okay, now select. Okay, from select from. Let's say student table. Okay, student table. And what I want to do, I want to join two tables, but only major records. Okay, inner join. So on inner join, on which table I want to join? I want to join, let's say student table and department table I want to join. Okay, student table and department table. You got it? See, student table and department table. And on. So what I want to join? So like what is the key? What is the key between these two tables? So student table department ID and department table department ID. Both are matching. You got it? On. So instead of writing, student. Okay, let me write a big one so that you will understand. Student table department ID, or right, department ID. I want to match this with department table department ID. You got it? So this is the match. Guys, understood? So this is the match. And here, so currently what we can do, I can directly what you want to fetch. I want to fetch student table dot student ID, comma student table student name. I want to print student name also. What is the name? One second. If I extend the columns, I'll come to know. Uh, okay, student ID, student name, student underscore name. Got it, right? And this one table. I don't want to, I don't want to print department ID here. Instead, I want to print department table. Department name. So I want to print this department name. Okay. So how I can print department table depart department department table what is the name actually here? Column name DPT underscore name. DPT underscore name. Make sense? Now if I execute, so it would fetch the match record from both the tables with this information. If I execute this, did you see it? Only three records got matched. Did you see it? Student ID 3, Mahesh. Student name is Mahesh, and he is from EC department. So when I do this, okay, and if I go back here, did you see? So only three information. Let's say 10, 20, 30. If you see, first name is Mahesh. Mahesh. Mahesh record, like his student ID is 3. Name is Mahesh. And whose 10 is what? So 10 is EC. Did you see it here? And no, it will match in any order, no problem. It will display in any order. That's fine. Okay. Even if you want to order, let's say after this, if you want to order by some student ID, for example, you can also do this. So if you are not okay with this, joining goes fine. And if you want to order properly, so we have already learned, right? So how we can do order by, let's say um, student ID. If you want to do ascending, right? Ascending order. Now if you print it, did you see this? Now you joined it and you filter the records based on the order. Let's say if you put ASC, meaning ascending order, or if you want to print the data in the, like if you want to print the student information in descending order, for example, based on the ID, like roll number last to first, then instead of ASC, DESC. DESC means descending order. Got it? Now 3, 2, 1. Or you can print on any order. You can display information based on the student ID, or let's say sometimes, right, we need to order by student name, ascending or descending. Let's say alphabets, right? When it comes to school or college, right? What they used to the roll number is based on the student name, student alphabet, correct? Yeah. So instead of student ID, just say student name. If you put ASC, then you are getting the information in the ascending order. This is AMR because in alphabets A is a lowest number, right? A is the first, M is again, M is next to it, and after M only R comes, right? That's where it is. Based on the alphabets, yeah. And if you put DSC, you will find all the records in the descending order of the based on the name, or M and D. Got it? So you can play with anything. You can play with this like any name, even department name. For example, if you want to order by department name, CSD, like this, right? So like whatever name you want to use, you can, let's say if it is a department name, you should say department name, department name, DSC or ASC, right? Whatever it is. But the most best way is like get the student information by the um, student ID or student name, both should be fine. Because since we don't have any use case, right? So we can play all the possibility. We will play and understand all the possibilities so that we should be good. Yeah, makes sense. No, any questions on this from anyone? Any questions on this, guys? The next one is, guys, the same way we can learn. I mean, we can learn just like that. If you want to learn another one, let's say select this. Now everything else same. Okay, and instead of inner join, say left join. Right? So left join means select every record from the right table and match a record from the left table. Sorry, select left join means select every record from the left table and match a record from the right table. In the sense that here select all records from all records from student table, all records from student table, and match records from department table. Department table. Department. You got it? So what does really mean? So if you see here left join, right? So left join means, let's say here imagine student is the left and the department is the right. You got it? Because we are performing, left side there is a student table, and right side there is a department table. Okay, that's where you should think. You got it? Because see, on the join, student table is the left and department is the right, right? Simple that the left, it select all the records from the student table and match the record from the department table. And if department, let's say in the student, right? Okay, let me execute it and you'll come to know. And before that, when I go back here, go back to the here, right? If you see, so every record from right table and match a record from here. Understood? And if you see department names, for example, it will match, Pakka it will match these three records, uh, right? Like this is a left table, right? Okay. So in a simple way, uh, imagine this is a left table, this is a left table, and this is right table. Got it? Now, so when we join both the tables, when we join both the tables and the left and right both, and now the same query, we are joining both the tables and printing student ID, student name, and department name, for example. So what will happen? I'll show you. So sorry, I need to copy this. Sorry. Yeah. So and last one is department name, d dot name. Okay. So when we do a left join, so it select every record from the right table, sorry, left table, and match the record from the right table. Okay. So meaning every record will be there, and d name. So for example, um, student number one, he's chosen 20 is what? CSC. Okay. Akash chosen 30 means ECE. Mahesh chosen 10. 10 means triple E. Got it? And Kiran, right? When it comes to Kiran, right? Kiran has not chosen any department, and department name also. department name also comes null only. Okay, so whatever records are not there, in the right table, but it is available in the left table, which is student table, then that would display as null like this. No, understood? Huh? Uh, Hemant, did you understood? Department names, it will come null, but still it display every information about the student table because it's a left join. So it left join means fetch every record from the student table and match a record from the department table. But if there is no match on the department name, it will display null for that specific field. Yeah, makes sense, huh? Mahesh, you understood? Or you're not okay with it? How is it? Guys, respond, no? Like were you able to understand, or you're feeling any difficulty in this? Comfortable, right? Yeah. Uh, How about uh, Dinesh? Dinesh, you're fine with it, is it? Yeah. Guys, same query only. Now, if I go and trigger this, did you see? It printed. Every matched record is fine. If it is not matched, let's say Komal and Kiran, both are not matched, right? That's where. So when you go back here, see for Komal and Kiran, department is not there. That's why it is printed null in the department section. Yeah, makes sense. And that's what, guys. It's to understand this, it's very easy. Okay. So instead of that's what, instead of making this much big query, you can you can write a short way. Say student as is, like it's like a shortcut. We are going shortcut to department as D. Understood? And here s dot student. Yeah, wherever student is there, just replace with S. Make sense? Yeah. And wherever D is there, department, wherever department, you just rename it to D. That's it. You're done. Yeah, makes sense. Got it. So this is about left. This left join. Okay. Now, same way right join. So what is right join actually? When we do a right join, so all records from right table, which means like department table, and match the records from department table, like a student table. You got it? So it's very easy. So again, if I go back here, so there's a left join, right? Next one is right join. So right join means all records from right table. So which is right table means what? Department table, and match records from student table. Make sense? Yeah. Now how this should be? So all records from here, for example, all records. Like this can be any name, like whatever. But when it comes to the filter, right? Whatever you are doing S name, right? Got it? So let's say whatever S name you are printing, that's fine. It will come. And here primarily match a record from the all record from the right table and match the record from the left table. Let's say let me give an example so that it will be easy. So this is a left table, and the same way if I do a right table, right join. Okay. So this way, what every record you will get, every record from department table and match the records of student table. Now if you go on and execute this, did you see this? In department you will see every department. IT department, civil, null department, CSC, EC, triple E. You got it? Every record from the, every record from the department table and match it. Let's say, for example, only three matches, right? From table A and table B. Three, only these three got matched. But in the right table, every record will be displayed, and whatever the if it is matched, it will display the record name of the student. If not matched, let's say it will put null, because IT, civil, and all, no one chosen actually out of the students. That's where it has it came as null. Makes sense, huh? Yeah, makes sense. Tell me, guys, yes or no? Got it? See, I think I'm seeing some question mark in your faces. So what you can do is, guys, experiment with this. Okay. So since you know what needs to be done, I'll be sharing this recording all with the join queries and all. So please experiment with all this inner join, left and right join. Okay. Once you're comfortable with this, then we will move on to other concepts. Yeah, makes sense. Hey, any confusion in this? No, right? But experiment it. So with this what we can do is we will create a what we can say, see, once we are understanding this completely, right, we can join multiple tables and create a virtual table. Okay, so get some experience on this, and once you're comfortable, again we will have one more session. If you ping me that I'm comfortable with this, yeah, so that I can take one more session, and along with that you will get individual use cases actually from today, because based on your assignment submission, I have gone through the yesterday's git repos that you have shared. So based on that, I'll also give the use cases.